We are going to have a good old chat about the food at Universal Orlando's parks.
In general, from a vegan perspective,
from a gluten-free perspective,
and from a dairy-free perspective.
This is episode 591 of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast. Hey everyone, welcome to the show. I'm your host, Lee. Pull the curtain back. We are recording this way in advance. It is the day of the big Halloween Horror Nights reveal, but we're not talking about that, even though I really want to right now. As you heard in the intro, we are going to have a good talk about food, because why not? And I have given Tracy, Chris, and Michelle the next 2 weeks off, actually, but I'm joined by some of my favourite people in the world. So joining me is Kayla Roebuck. Hey, Kayla.
Hello. And
Kelly Wood.
Hi, friends.
And I think you've all been on at this point. And finally, from Universal Orlando Vegans, Shelby. Hey, Shelby.
Hi. Thanks for having me.
You're welcome. Thanks for enjoying coming on the podcast more than you ever thought you would. I will call you out. Yeah, I kind of like, because we normally take Christmas off, I always want to get some stuff in the bag to put out over Christmas, so we get the time off and people still get some content. And I thought, well, let's talk about the food from a general perspective, which is me, from a gluten-free perspective, which is Kayla, and then Kelly, are you specifically dairy-free? I know I ummed and ahed over this.
Yes. Yeah, I have dairy allergies, so I'm severely allergic to all dairy products, but that's my only food sensitivity.
And then obviously Shelby, very specifically from Universal Orlando Vegans, another shameless plug there, vegan. And I think it all three of you pose a very interesting challenge going to a theme park. And I think as we get into it, we're just going to talk about food in general and like your favorite places and experiences we've had overall. But it's like, from my perspective, it's easy because I have no allergies. I just go wherever I want and eat. And I know, like Kayla, talking about you specifically, when we did the non-water taxi dining experience as part of the weekend, there was nothing at Strongwater Tavern you could have dessert-wise.
Yeah, and dessert, for gluten-free, dessert is the toughest.
As is dairy, truthfully.
Yeah, I mean, sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, which is kind of sad, really, isn't it? I suppose it depends if you're a sweet-tooth person. Kayla, does it kill you that you can't really have many desserts?
I was going to say, I am fine without dessert. I joke that, like, out of everyone I know, that whatever the powers that gave me celiacs, like, it was like, this girl's fine. She doesn't really like sweets. So, like, I took it from my friends who love sweets and stuff. But, and I love ice cream, so Kelly, I'm sorry. Like, of all the desserts, like, I like ice cream, and, like, typically I can have ice cream. So what I can have is, like, what I like, which I'm lucky. But for a lot of people, yeah, they love sweets and brownies and cookies. And the thing is like, gluten-free has come a long way, and they very easily can have a gluten-free brownie, and they're phenomenal. So maybe this year at HHN, like, wouldn't you die if there's a gluten-free brownie? You'll be like, they did this for Kayla.
I mean, this is why I do these things, to be fair. I know Universal are listening, and Kayla, Shelby, do we have vegan churros yet? Have they listened to us yet or not?
Well, not as of the recording of this podcast, no.
We should keep harping on about
for
them.
HHN.
Yes, we will keep harping on about them.
Yes.
So yeah, I just kind of wanted, I know I messaged you before we recorded yesterday about how much experience we've all got of eating at Volcano Bay, and I knew there's a bit of a smattering there. I mean, I haven't. So we might touch on Volcano Bay a little bit later, but mainly sort of focusing on Islands of Adventure and Universal Studios Florida. Just kind of wanted to chat about places you enjoy going, or crappy experiences you've had, or in general. So I don't know whether anyone wants to kick it off.
I mean, I can kind of kick it off with a vegan and gluten-free option.
Okay.
We're cool with that because that encompasses all of us. That's going to be at Finnegan's. The vegan shepherd's pie.
Oh, you keep talking about this all the time. Yeah,
I do. So it's funny. My friends went there recently and the dish looks different. So I need to go back and have it again because it looks like they've changed the topping of it, like the mashed potato topping. So proceed with caution, maybe. It didn't look the same.
Okay.
But it is vegan and gluten-free and it should be good.
Okay. See, Finnegan's is a place that Tracy and I have never been to.
I know, that's also why I mentioned it, because I was calling you out, Lee.
I know. Do you know what? I don't know why we've never been. The plan is to go when we come over in September. This is weird because this is coming out in December. Yeah, we're talking about it now. So the plan is to come out in September. We've been in there and had a table, but none of us were hungry, and we ended up getting kicked out because we were taking up a table. During Stay and Scream, to be fair, as well.
Oh, yeah. That's fair.
But yeah, it's not somewhere we've ever eaten, but it is somewhere I really want to go. It's like, it is like a staple of Universal Studios Florida, isn't it, to be honest?
It is.
Yeah, it's so strange. I can't even talk about Minions Cafe at this point because we haven't been. Has anyone, Shelby, you've been?
Yeah, several times.
I walked by it.
You know what? We could have. I'm sorry. Let's nix Finnegan's and go to Minions Cafe because that new option is vegan and gluten free too.
Okay.
So, I like that they're doing that now. It makes my life easier because people do ask me about vegan and gluten free options, and it's really tough, which you guys obviously know, Kayla.
It seems to be a bit hit and miss with people, Minions Cafe, from what I've heard.
Yeah, I've heard that too.
But how's your experience been there?
Fine.
See, how many options have you got? Because I always find, because our youngest vegetarian, and I always find there's like one vegetarian option on the menu. And if you don't like it, tough.
I think there is a few vegetarian options. There's just the one vegan option now because there's an issue with the Minions tots that I won't get into. It's like a whole other thing.
Oh.
But the vegan option is the Carl's Crispy Cauliflower, and they have a PB&J kids meal that comes with the Minion tots, and I think there might be like a grilled cheese. I think, but I'm not 100% sure on that.
That's where I want to jump in with my experience just in general, is that a lot of the times when you look on the menu, if there's something that looks like something you would enjoy or things like that that could be modified. So say there's a dish on there that's like grilled chicken and vegetables and rice. It might say nut-free and gluten-free, but if you take the butter off the vegetables, it might be dairy-free too. That might be a very easy swap for them to make. So I would say it never, ever hurts to ask if there's something on the menu that isn't labeled, gluten sensitive or vegetarian, that it would be pretty easy for them to swap out one part of the menu item. It obviously gets trickier if you're doing mobile ordering or things like that, but that would be if I had a soapbox that I want to stand on, is making sure that you ask if there's something that you want to eat, if there's something that looks good. It doesn't hurt anyone to ask if it can be modified to meet your dietary needs or restrictions or things like that. Because if you just go off what's listed on the menu, as helpful as that is, and as far as Universal has come, I think that'll be a big theme in what I talk about today, that Universal has come so far in having options for people with dietary restrictions. But if you just go by the menu, you might be missing out on a lot of things that could be easily modified to meet whatever your needs are.
So I want to jump in and say, for gluten-free, there's barely anything marked as gluten-free.
Okay.
And there's a hell of a lot more than what they're putting on the menus. What I really need Universal to do is make a GFO, a gluten-free optional symbol. And that's the thing. So
yes.
I talk to everyone. I am a natural extrovert. I have no fear of people. So I don't care about going and asking and saying I'm gluten-free. And then I think we've touched upon it in other podcasts. Typically the chef will come out, talk to me directly. And then that, exactly what Kelly said, will walk me through with if you're okay with, so the tater tots, the vegan tater tots at Green Eggs and Ham, if I get it without the vegan sausage, it's gluten-free. So they'll tell me without the sausage, is that okay? And then one of the things that gets me is the sandwiches are not labeled gluten-free optional, and there's a gluten-free bun. And so like my first big trip that I went to a couple of years ago after being diagnosed with celiacs, I didn't get like anything because I didn't know. And then a week later, they came out, like the Universal blog came out with the gluten-free dining. And there was so much stuff that I didn't know about, but it's nowhere on the menu.
Right, and that's a big issue because if you're not an outspoken person, I know as a typical Englishman, we are quite reserved in who we are and don't want to make a fuss. Or if you're not that type of person that like, do you know what? I don't want to be a problem. I just want to. It's fine, rather than ask. Because similar to that, it was interesting when we went to Mythos last year. Our youngest wanted the fork, knife and spoon grilled cheese. And it's interesting that the tomato soup has beef stock in it.
Mm-hmm.
So she couldn't have the soup. She had to change it out for fries. But who would ever think that as a vegetarian you can't have tomato soup? It was bizarre.
At Today Cafe, which I love, their potato salad is not gluten-free. And that's really weird. I don't know what they're doing. I have no clue because there's nothing, I've never had gluten potato salad. So like that's another one that's a little bit strange. Like you wouldn't think it. So I guess a point there is always tell the staff of whatever allergen you have, because it might be in some strange places and they're very educated and they'll walk you through and they'll be phenomenal if they know.
To be fair, that potato salad's not all that. Everyone raves about it. I had it last year. I was like, yeah, no, I'll stick with the fruit next time, thanks.
You know why? Because they add gluten to it.
Maybe that's what it is.
So I want to interject on that potato salad. So a while ago, my group partner, Steven, he runs the group with me, he went and they were telling him that the potato salad was all of a sudden vegan. And he's like, I don't believe you. That's weird. So he talks to someone. So they're using Vegenaise, which is dairy-free, obviously. But then they're also using, I think sour cream was the other ingredient, like another non-vegan product. And we're like, why are you telling people like that's dangerous? But it was the team members up front that were telling him that, and he talked to a chef and got it sorted out. But it's really weird that they would use, I mean, I think they just use Vegenaise across the park anyway, but they do weird stuff with certain things. So I'm not surprised there's beef in the soup.
Yeah, it's strange. Like, I don't understand. I mean, it's surely, I don't know, they obviously do big batches of it, so it's not something they can modify on the spot. But it's like you were saying, Kayla, if they've got those gluten-free options, it's literally a 3 letters on a menu for you to be able to look at a menu and go, oh, I can't have that, but I can have it modified, rather than having to go through the rigmarole of asking, can I have that?
Yeah, and that really comes into play, especially, I was thinking back to the Weekender. Kayla, I'm with you halfway in the fact that I am not afraid to advocate for myself when I'm at a restaurant. But if I'm in with a group of people, I am sometimes more hesitant to be like, okay, I know all 5 of you want to go here, but I can't eat here. So can either we meet up somewhere? But I loved, Kayla, when we were at the Weekender, that we had known each other for like 2 hours and we were walking around and you were like, we're stopping here so I can get tots. And it was like, oh, I need to be more like Kayla when I'm in the parks. Not that I find myself in the parks very often with people I don't know, but that sort of thing of, if I'm going to a restaurant that I haven't been to before, I really rely heavily on looking at the menu that they have on the app or online. And that'll kind of help me determine whether I think it's worth, say we're in Islands and everybody wants to go to City Walk for dinner. And I've now walked all the way over to a restaurant that I've never eaten at before. And turns out there's not really great options for me there. I really rely on that menu. And I know it's especially tough with Universal that they have so many third-party restaurants that they're not, their own proprietor for every single restaurant. But even going, I think I talked about this last time we talked about food allergies, but going from menu to menu, the symbols are different. The labeling is different from menu to, like, even I think it's fixed now, but for a while there were a couple places that just a V meant vegetarian and VG meant vegan, but then it means something different somewhere else, where I'd be like, if I just want something quick, I love how many vegan options there are. I don't typically eat vegan when I'm preparing food for myself, but when I travel, I eat a lot of vegan food because I know it's safe. I know there's safe options. Yep. I know they use safe, or hopefully use safe food prep handling when they do that to avoid cross-contamination and things like that. But sometimes even from restaurant to restaurant, like really, really paying attention to how things are labeled, or if I have to order it differently, if I can order it right off the menu and it's vegan, or if I would have to modify something. So back to Kayla, I totally second that. Anytime I'm ordering food, even if it's like, I got one of the popsicles from Freeze Ray Pops that we can talk about, but it said vegan on the menu, but I double checked and said, I know it says vegan on the menu, but I have severe dairy allergies. Can you please just confirm that there's no dairy product in this blueberry lemonade popsicle, which there shouldn't be. But again, like to Kayla's point, you absolutely never know. It's really, really sneaky the way that, food is prepped, and especially anything processed and things like that. There's a lot of ingredients that you just would never suspect are in something like beef stock in a tomato soup, or, dairy in a beer that was fermented with lactose or something like that. So, yes, I totally second that, of be really careful when you're looking at the menus and make sure you always talk to someone.
I remember coming over for Mardi Gras the first time we came over for Mardi Gras in 2020, and sending Chris and Alexa around the Mardi Gras booths to find out the vegetarian options for our youngest, and he came back and we did it on the show because I've got a big grand reveal for you, everyone. Right. The twisted taters. And we're like, what? That's it. That's your vegetarian option. Like, you kidding? Yep. Out of everything, that was it. A twisted tater. Wow.
That used to be the vegan options for horror nights, so I get it.
But
I don't eat those anymore.
I feel like we're being a little down on Universal overall. I think if you go back to how the parks were 10 or 15 years ago, it's leaps and bounds, and they have to. I get that, but like I say, for me, it's not something I ever have to think about. Like, I can't imagine what it must be like whenever the Horror Nights food reveal comes out and they start all this, and you're like, yeah, can't have that, can't have that, can't have that. Like, I can't imagine how frustrating that must be, but it's difficult to see it from their point of view, isn't it? Because they can't accommodate everyone.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
So, but it is frustrating, especially if you're that person, or you've even got someone in your family who's vegan or whatever it might be. It's frustrating because you have to you can't just, like Kelly was saying, you can't just rock up somewhere and go, right, we're going to eat here because this person, there might be nothing on the menu that person can have. And I don't know how you do it, to be fair.
Snacks. You bring a lot of snacks just in case.
I mean, and then like empathy for like things like Mardi Gras and HHN. And I was going to say, obviously, like sitting at a bigger restaurant or like having more time, like going to somewhere where you have to where it's quick service. I feel like that's where a lot of people, if you're already nervous about talking, like you're really nervous because there's a line and whatever. But Universal is, at least for me, I've had all positive experiences with working with them. They never make me feel bad, or they never make me feel like, oh my God, there's a big line. What are you doing? And it's typically pretty fast. I think I've had one time at Leaky Cauldron, and it was kind of funny. I knew I wanted 3 broomsticks. I wanted gluten-free pancakes, but I had to talk to a chef. I already know what I want. And they're like, no, you have to talk to a chef. And it was a little bit of a wait. So that was a little bit weird. But with a place like that, they have much more space. They can have a dedicated fryer for gluten-free. With those booths, it's I can have empathy, and then that's where it's I'm okay with not having a ton of options. I get it. This isn't gluten-free Universal that's made for Kayla Roebuck. This is for everyone. So, and again, I felt like we started off really negatively. I love Universal. I love the food that I've had there. I love the special things that they have done, and they have done more and more. And then that's where like the soapbox of just adding like one little, like they've done so much, and we'll get into it and talk about great things. And like having something like GFO on the menu.
Yeah, simple.
It's like really nice.
Yeah. Because I was listening to, I'm not going to plug it too much, the official podcast, let's just call it that for right now, and they had one of the chefs on. They were talking about apparently the gluten-free pancakes at the Three Broomsticks are better than the normal ones.
That's what the chef told me too. I don't even like pancakes, and I love these pancakes. And I will, every single time now since I've had them, I'll have like one day that I'll make sure I go in the morning and I get the pancakes. Like I skip Hagrid to get my pancakes.
Oh wow.
That's dedication.
Yeah.
It's like I'm really interested in the vegan churros to see how different they are from the normal ones. Because if there's not a lot of difference, then just make them all vegan.
I agree.
Like I don't understand the.
I really hope they come to Horror Nights, because it's really hard for me to get down for Mardi Gras. And this year, the only week my pass is blacked out in March is my spring break. I'm a teacher, and that's the week that my pass is blacked out. So I've never had a churro in my whole life before. And
What?
really like
Oh no. I was about to ask you, did you get to have
butter.
Mardi Gras?
No, so
Sorry.
I'll be down for Horror Nights this year. So I would love to try one, but you know, I understand again that that's a specialty thing. And like Kayla said, like, I don't want to sound negative about it. I come up to this menu now, and sometimes it almost gives me more anxiety of like, oh my gosh, I have 4 things to choose from out of this menu instead of just one. And usually people tell me what I'm going to have for lunch here. And usually it's like grilled chicken and steamed broccoli. So when I have multiple options, which we'll get into with a couple places later on, it's like overwhelming for me. I don't know what to do with it when I can pick.
So here we go. My vision of Kelly at Halloween Horror Nights this year, if they do the vegan churros, right? So, you know, in the Prisoner of Azkaban, when the Dementors come on the train and Harry passes out and Professor Lupin gives him the chocolate, right? So that's Kelly at the end of her first house with me going, eat this, it'll make you feel better. Honestly, it will.
And my first vegan butterbeer, it was like the vegan topping came out like 2 days after we left the weekender. So I have not had, because I tried one without the foam for the first time on my birthday last year and I didn't like it. So I would really like to try it with the vegan foam. So
without the foam is not very, like, it's too sweet, which is so ironic
sweet. It was
because
so
like
sweet.
the topping is sweet, but it like cancels it out somehow. I don't know.
The regular butterbeer
I believe it.
The regular butterbeer is horrible anyway. Hot's the real answer.
I tried frozen and it was so sweet. I guess I'm like Kayla. I don't have much of a sweet tooth. I mean, don't get me wrong. If you put a bag of potato chips in front of me, I can eat the whole thing in one sitting. But, you know, it's tough to get through a cupcake. That's too much sweet for me. But we'll see. If not, I'll go back to my pumpkin juice.
Yeah, but it's not the same. I'm glad Tracy's not here. We can get her off that soapbox. See, I wouldn't even know what sort of stuff what ordinary stuff would you not be able to have, Kayla, being gluten-free? Like stuff that the general theme park goer would take for granted. What can you not eat?
I mean, most theme park foods. So I can't have fried stuff. I can't have bread. I can't have... So like, okay, I can't have a churro. I can't have a pretzel. I can't have a sandwich. Now there's gluten-free bread. I can't have pizza.
Oh my God, that would kill
like
me.
everything. But we don't have vegan pizza, but I get it.
Everything.
That sucks.
But they're making a lot more. Do we want to talk about what they do have?
Yeah.
Go on, yeah,
We should. We're all grateful.
Should we start
ungrateful here?
Should we start with like breakfast? Would that be a good, like breakfast, lunch, dinner, snacks?
Breakfast's an interesting one, isn't it? Because they struggle. We've talked about in other podcasts for years that there are very, very few breakfast options inside sort of the boundaries of City Walk and the parks.
And I can't have a donut.
Oh my. None of them. Do they do?
That might be the worst part.
Do they do any gluten-free at Voodoo Donut?
No.
No.
They don't.
I don't get it. Hipster Voodoo Donut. Please make a gluten-free donut.
See, what's weird about Voodoo, this is a soapbox I'm going to get on for a second. What's weird about Voodoo is that their vegan options are different from their regular ones. So they have a vegan option of everything. Why are they just not the same donut? They taste the same. why are they making double? Like there's 2 apple fritters, there's 2 Portland creams, there's 2 maple bars. Like the maple bar, apparently there's a maple bar, a vegan maple bar, and a bacon one. Why are there 3 maple bars? Anyway, sorry, it makes no sense. Like, why can't they just make the one vegan? I don't get it.
Because look, my issue is, right, if you made them vegan and you didn't tell anybody, nobody would know.
They wouldn't.
Nobody
My husband
would
eats
know.
the non-vegan ones.
It would probably be cheaper for them in the end if they didn't have to use dairy and eggs and things like that are really expensive. It would probably be much cheaper for them.
Do you know how many meat eaters would be like, I'm not going to eat that because it's vegan?
Well, it's true.
That's how meat eaters talk.
No, but it's true.
It is.
Look, I don't want to say anything. I'm not going to call anybody out. But yes, we've had comments like that on certain things we've done on the show before. So I get it. But it's like, I'll be honest, for the longest time, I wouldn't eat stuff that was like vegetarian. Do you guys have corn in the US?
Oh, yeah, corn. Yeah.
Yeah. So we eat a lot of
vegan,
it
though.
in our... It's vegetarian, though. We're not vegan in our house, but anyway, similar thing. Like we eat a lot, and like I eat it now, and it doesn't bother me in the slightest. Whereas before, I would have been that. Hell no, I'm not eating that. I need meat. I'm not eating this mushroom rubbish. What's this all about? But yeah, I get it. But if you didn't tell people, people wouldn't know. I need Universal to have us out, me, Tracy, Chris, and Michelle, and do a vegan versus normal taste test on every
like
item.
A blind taste test.
Yeah, I think it would be awesome.
Let's do it.
It would be very interesting to see if you didn't know, because that's obviously the problem. Inside your head, if someone told you, right, that's the vegan one and that's the non-vegan one, mentally you would probably find a difference in them just because. It would be interesting to see the difference between the two. Anyway, I thought we were getting on a positive note. So let's start with breakfast.
Yeah. I can start. So I already talked about the gluten-free pancakes at Leaky Cauldron and Three Broomsticks are phenomenal. If you're gluten-free, I definitely recommend going. It is special. It's a special experience. They're really good. And then obviously I love the ambiance of both those restaurants. And then the other breakfast I've gotten is, I just looked it up, at Croissant Moon Bakery. I've gotten the gluten-free egg, ham, and cheese. And it was good. It was nice. It was simple.
You can hear Kayla say, it was okay. Like really in her head going, it fed me.
Yeah, it's a ham, egg, and cheese. Like it's not, I like ordering at restaurants. I like getting something I can't make at home. Is like typically what I'll go for. I can make that at home. Yeah. So that's the only negativity of that. But it was good.
I'll be honest, I've kind of gone off the breakfast and Harry Potter lands at this point. That's just for you, Kayla, by the way.
I know.
I used to really like, and I'm not a fan of breakfast potatoes. Don't shoot me. Tracy's not here. I'm glad she isn't. The sausages are kind of weird. Yeah, not a fan.
I'm trying to. The pancakes come with it's pancakes, bacon, and the breakfast potatoes. I love breakfast potatoes. So, and the bacon's like fine. It's not anything, whatever. But the pancakes are exquisite.
I love how they serve an American breakfast in an English restaurant.
I think it's labeled that though. Like I think it's the like all American platter when the other one is this English platter. Like they're clearly labeled differently.
But why would in the Three Broomsticks would they serve an all-American breakfast?
For all the Americans that go there.
You mean none of them then? Nobody. There's no one but British people in Hogsmeade at that point.
Right. Yeah, I'd say for me, breakfast is not something that I typically get in the theme parks. Like I'm usually when I'm there with my friends or my family, we typically have something quick earlier in the morning and then go for like an early lunch instead. And then by moving up dinner, that gives us a lot of time kind of in the air conditioning when everything else is really busy. But I love I know it's really simple, but if I'm going to Voodoo Donut, like I just get the vegan glazed donut. Like I don't want a ton of stuff on top of it or inside of it or squirting out of it. Like there's like, that's just, I like a simple breakfast and I'm not ashamed of anything that just came out of my mouth. So, whatever. Yeah, I think I've had the breakfast at Three Broomsticks once, but Also, like first thing in the morning, I don't really want a heavy breakfast and then to go get on a roller coaster or anything like that. So I'll either just have like a granola bar or something. I would love to have the breakfast at Amatista's, though. That's a big thing on my to-do list. I love that restaurant, and I've heard really great things about the breakfast. So that is on my bucket list for sure.
Depending on which way I'm feeling at this point. Tracy and I went to it in September for dinner, but we didn't go for breakfast, or we're going to it in September for dinner. Not breakfast, though. Sorry, Kayla.
I say, Kelly, that's a good point. I said I only go like once. I only go once because it is a pretty large breakfast for one person, the pancakes. And same, it's when it's hot and roller coasters, I don't want to have that. So like, that's why only once. So just if you're getting that, be prepared for a larger breakfast, possibly split it if you're with someone that will split it.
Shelby, breakfast of champions.
You know, I wish so badly that we had a vegan breakfast sandwich. That's like before it was the churros and like pizza fries, but now I want a vegan breakfast sandwich. I want a croissant, and I want some vegan eggs, and I want some vegan cheese. I'll take some vegan sausage too. But anyway, I just want to throw that out there, Universal, if you're listening.
Pardon my ignorance, by the way, but what is a vegan egg?
It's made of vegan products. I can tell you. There's a brand called Just Egg that is really popular that a lot of people use. I can't remember what it's made of, though.
What do they look like? I can't imagine.
It looks
I
like
imagine
egg.
it like a
scrambled egg.
All right.
Yeah,
It's in a
yeah.
I had
It's in like a
visions of
carton,
it being like a
right?
Cadbury's cream egg, but made of vegan stuff.
Yeah, it's
Sorry.
in a carton.
I'm very ignorant to these things.
Well, that's why I'm here. So I can tell you things. But other than that, so there's not a lot of vegan breakfast items available on property. Some of my favorites, though, are at Today Cafe.
Mm-hmm.
I love Today Cafe.
Which Today Cafe is amazing. And the thing that's great about Today Cafe, it's open from park open to close. So like you can go during horror nights. Everyone's gonna steal my thing now, but like I like to go there because it's quiet.
You're
and
all right,
usually people are not in there.
This doesn't come out
which
until
is
after
great.
Horror Night, so you're fine.
Oh right, so they won't steal my thing.
Not
Okay.
until next year.
But it's quiet in there. They have overnight oats, which are gluten-free.
Yeah, I really
or
want to try them because I
sorry.
like the idea behind them. They sound really good, but it's not something I would typically go to eat, but I just think they sound really good.
Listen, that I told you before on a previous podcast, I believe when we talked about these, that these are not something I would normally eat. It's not like oats are not my thing. I hate chia seeds, but the overnight oats are delicious.
Okay.
And then there's also the avocado toast, the Park Avenue, which is really good.
Yeah, our oldest had it there in September for his lunch. Avocado toast was right up his alley, but he absolutely loved it.
So the avocado, I think I've had it on gluten-free bread. I didn't get it for the longest time, same as before. Like I could make avocado toast.
Yeah.
They added something, there's something on it that I've never had, and I can do it at home, but I've never thought about it or I've never seen it before. And like, I remember the avocado toast blowing my mind that I was like, oh, and I'm forgetting what's on it.
Is it the little dollops of I think it's tomato, what is it called?
I don't know. But anyway, my point is,
Yeah.
it's very good.
It is really good.
I also recommend that.
Roasted tomato puree. Is that what it is? Maybe.
And is there like something crispy, like seeds or something?
Yeah, they put, where is it? Toasted cashews on top. There's shaved fennel. There's also a lemon vinaigrette, which I love lemon, so anything lemon. Yeah.
I think to your point, the Today Cafe is one of those places that it doesn't matter what time of day you go, there's something decent to have.
Mm-hmm.
It is.
Yeah.
Tracy and I fell in love with that place the first time we went, and it's probably the place we've eaten at in studios more than anywhere else, which,
That makes
considering
sense.
we've been visiting the park since 2004 and it's only been open for about 4 years or something, tells you how good it is.
And I think I find that too. I'm sure I'm not the only one, that the newer the restaurant or the location is, quite often the more choices that there are
Yes.
for me. like we were talking about Finnegan's. I've also never eaten at Finnegan's. When I was really younger, when my family was going to the parks, we had some pretty horrible experiences trying to find food at studios at both Finnegan's and Lombard's, of being told like, we can't serve you, like we have nothing that we can make for you, like you can have French fries or a pretzel, like those are your choices. So I still, not that I have anything against those restaurants, but in my mind it's already like automatically like, oh, nothing there for me. And I know I need to give some of these other places a shot, whereas somewhere that's newer that I know has multiple options, that their kitchen is probably set up and designed for lower cross-contamination and things like that, of having separate workstations and things like that. I'm find myself much more likely to go to somewhere newer with the anticipation that they would be able to meet my needs there better than somewhere that's been open for 30 plus years.
Yeah, that makes a lot of sense actually, because they're gonna sort of not build it, but obviously like make it from the ground up, kind of, with that in mind, rather than going into an old place and retrofitting it to meet the needs of those type of things. Yeah, because like I don't know specifically like what Fast Food Boulevard's like for any of you. I take it by that laugh, Shelby. There's nothing in there for you apart from anything at Lisa's Tea House of Horror, I'm guessing.
Fruit, hummus, curly fries.
Wow.
And tater tots. That's it. But they have they have a vegetarian, there's a sandwich that's veggies, but like the bun isn't vegan.
Right.
I'm like, you guys just swap out the bun. But I think maybe there's a licensing issue or something maybe there, that why they haven't changed the recipe, because it's an easy swap.
And their veggie burger is not gluten-free.
Okay.
Nor vegan.
And I never even make it into Fast Food Boulevard because I just stop at Bumblebee Man's Tacos, because that is completely dairy-free. I can have all of their tacos. I don't have to worry. There's not like anything on the premises that would really be a dairy cross-contamination. So I never even make it inside because I'm just waiting there with my tacos while everybody else orders all their food. So,
and that's a funny one. So getting back to like the poor labeling, and then so Mexican food is typically one of the safest things for gluten-free. It's typically corn-based, or if not, if there's flour tortilla, they typically have corn tortilla. Bumblebee Taco, unless they've updated it recently, was not labeled. And like whenever I've seen there's a big line, so I've just never went. And then finally it wasn't a long line, and I asked, and like, yeah, they can do it with corn tortillas, but it wasn't labeled at all as a gluten-free option on the menu. So I didn't go there for the longest time.
Yeah, that's really frustrating, isn't it? It is really frustrating that it is a simple fix as well.
Yeah. So Fast Food Boulevard is probably my number one that I just don't even give it a shot. I think it's badly organized. Like, I think it's weird that you get your food and then have to go pay, and it's very chaotic. So as far as like being able to talk to a chef or talk to someone, I'm very uncomfortable. So at the Weekender with Kelly, I left. I said, I'm sorry guys, but I'm not going to eat here. And I went to Richter Burger instead. And ultimately I think got the same thing. I realized later in life, I got just a grilled chicken sandwich on a gluten-free bun, which I think I could have gotten at Fast Food Boulevard, but I was so overwhelmed. And honestly, I wanted a veggie burger, and then I couldn't have the veggie burger, which again, like, wheat can be used as a filler. Mm-hmm.
Just like dairy. Both of those can.
Probably back to negatives. At Fast Food Boulevard, I don't think I'll ever eat there. And I just don't trust it.
It never used to be like that. They changed the way you order a few years ago. I want to say like just before 2019, because it never used to be that chaotic. It used to be really good.
It's so chaotic. And then I think I was standing, and I think I saw like the thing that you'd use to get the beef patty then was used for like chicken. And so back to like positives, typically, and especially as of recent, almost every time I order gluten-free, if not all, if I'm getting tater tots or something like quick service, they'll put a plate over my food. Mm-hmm. if they're like at Finnegan's, I think there's like either like a little thing in there to like a little flag on a toothpick, or like sometimes
I've gotten that at other restaurants before, like a little allergy, like my food comes out on the plate with a toothpick in it that says allergy.
Yeah. Same.
Yeah. Also to say that, and then like and this will go into, when we talk about City Walk, I've had it where I had a sandwich wrapped in a bag, and when the person delivered it to me, they forgot to put on gloves, and I heard them get, not told off bad, but like I heard them get pulled aside and said like, that was an allergy and you should have put on gloves, which I'm like, my sandwich was in a bag. Like,
no, but that's good.
I felt totally safe, but it made me feel so good that they were taking it that seriously. And at Fast Food Boulevard, I don't see it currently. I think it's too chaotic. And I could see a mistake happening there where they use the wrong tong or they use the wrong thing, and then it's cross-contaminated on accident.
Yeah, I don't want to make excuses for anyone, but in a high-pressure situation like that, it would be easy to just kind of forget yourself and just use the same utensil for something else. It's tough. I am going to stop us there just for a second because, of course, Michelle will slap my wrist if I don't pass it over for an ad break. So we're going to hear from our sponsors and we'll be right back.
Man, we need a vacation.
Oh, I got this.
Whoa, that's awesome. But I was thinking something a little more adventurous.
Okay, how about this?
Yes!
And how about some relaxation from Mama?
Oh, perfect. How did you do that?
Easy. Portkey Vacations.
For your next vacation, let Portkey Vacations take away all the guesswork and stress of planning. From air and hotel to theme park tickets and everything else in between, they've got you covered. Just visit PortkeyVacations.com and touch the Portkey to get started with your free, no-obligation quote request. With just one touch, and Portkey Vacations will magically take you wherever you want to go.
Welcome back, everyone. I'm here with Kelly, Kayla, and Shelby talking about food and allergies, and we're apparently being mostly negative about Universal, I would say, at this point. What I was going to ask before we went to the break was so one of the newest places that everyone raves about, the Central Park crepes. How is that? I know, Shelby, we've talked about it because they took...
Oh, poor Kayla.
They took the one off that I really wanted, the lemon blueberry. It's like, I don't understand why they have to take one away to add one in.
It's a really small stand. It's so small. I think that's why. Because people were complaining because they took away, we had a vegan savory crepe before, and then they put in the vegan berry that we have now. But people were like, why can't they have both? I'm like, you guys realize they have like two of the little crepe table thing. I don't know what they're called. Griddle. They have two of those, so they have to reserve one for vegan, and I'm sure, hopefully, and then one for the regular crepes. So they just don't, I don't think they have the capacity to have more than one that will suit at least vegetarians and vegans, maybe not gluten sensitive people.
Right, here's the solution. Take over Circus McGurkus because the food in there is terrible. Make 1/2 green eggs and ham. Make 1/2 Central Park crepes. Problem solved.
There you go.
Because green eggs and ham isn't big enough to deal with how busy that place is. And Central Park crepes is the same. And
it is.
Circus McGurkus is terrible. It should be one of the signature restaurants in that park, and it's bloody awful.
Is it closed right now still? Or did they reopen it?
I'm not sure, actually. It has been closed for quite a while, hasn't it? I haven't been since December. So
I'm hoping they revamp the menu there and at Mel's. That would be nice, since they're both like being refurbed like that.
We should maybe cut this out because I'm assuming it will be open at this point, since though we're like 4 months behind. Because I was wondering what they were going to do with Mel's at this point, because I was like, are they doing Mel's out for scare actor dining? But I'm guessing not.
No.
Well, I can steer us in a positive direction here. Not about the crepes, but I'm going to walk past the crepe stand and go to my new favorite place, which is Cafe La Bamba.
Yes. Thank you,
yes,
Kelly.
I figured we would get there eventually.
I've been waiting.
Mexican is funny for me because it's very easy to make dairy-free, but it's very easy to cross-contaminate Mexican food. Because if you think about all the toppings just sitting in this topping bar, and the person before me orders a burrito with lettuce, tomato, and cheese, someone's going to reach in and grab a handful of that cheese and pull it over to the burrito. And now there's cheese in the tomatoes, there's cheese in the lettuce, there's cheese everywhere. But I just ate at Cafe La Bamba for the first time a couple weeks ago and had one of the best allergy experiences I've ever had. And this was coming off of the last time I was forced to use mobile ordering was like during COVID at Monsters Cafe, and it was a terrible experience. My food came out wrong. It came out like 25 minutes after my friends. It was just a very stressful experience. And this time was polar opposite. When I walked in, I was just curious. And the hostess explained that they were mobile order only, but it was, you would go to the table and mobile order your food. And I said that, that gives me a lot of anxiety because I have severe food allergies. And they were like, oh, no worries. We'll be able to accommodate you. And I've talked about this before, but have mobile ordering with the allergen note does not save me any time because when say I mobile ordered and I got there, someone would still have to come out and talk to me to tell me whether or not I could actually eat what I ordered, and then they'd go make it. So it's not a time saver for me. I would much prefer safety-wise to talk to someone in person than to just rely on a button on an app. But I explained that when I walked into Cafe La Bamba, and before I was even like sitting down and had the app pulled up, the manager came over and talked to me and said, what are you thinking about? I'll go talk to the chef. She's a little busy now, but she'll come over as soon as she's got a free moment. And within 5 minutes, the chef had come over and walked me through the entire menu and said, again, this is another example of there were things on there that were labeled dairy-free. So funny enough, this is, again, where the labeling can kind of get confusing. Some of the vegan options are not labeled dairy-free, which by their nature, they should be because they don't contain any animal products. But she came over and said, I'm going to make your food. None of your food will be, I won't take any of your food off of the line. I'll go in the back and get it. So whatever toppings you want on things, like it will be from somewhere fresh that there won't be contamination in it. And she basically told me, pick what you want off the menu and I'll make it for you. I'll make it personally and make sure that there's no cross-contamination. And it took a little while, which I'm always prepared for my food to be the last one to come out. But, the manager came and checked on me in between and made sure there was nothing else that I wanted. She was like, would you be interested in a dessert? I can see what I can find for you. And at that point, I didn't want dessert, but I had the vegan chorizo tacos and they were so delicious that I was like using my fork to pick up the tiny little pieces off of my plate that were left behind. It was so good. They were so friendly. It was not stressful to order. And all of the meats are marinated there's no dairy in any of the meat marinades. So I could get steak tacos without cheese. I could get a chicken burrito without sour cream. Like I would have a lot of options there, and I cannot wait to go back and try more things. So I'm really, really hoping that this is a permanent opening for Cafe La Bamba in this menu and not a seasonal one, but we'll see.
When I was there last, Cafe La Bamba was new-ish and the hours were funky, so I didn't get, and also it was Mardi Gras. And I was trying to get as much Mardi Gras, but there's a ton. I think everything but the burritos is gluten-free.
And those are gone. So you're good.
Cool.
RIP to the burritos. They nixed them. So.
And then just again, like general, the Mexican food, pretty much gluten-free, or there's an option. So, but I think it's only the La Bamba and Bumblebee.
La Bamba's such a strange place, isn't it? Because it's never really been open, like ever, honestly. It's usually sort of saved for, like I know the RIP tours. It'd be interesting to see what the RIP tours do this year, because normally the food's usually in there.
Do you have like your confirmation? Is it in there still?
I honestly don't know. It was Michelle that booked it, so I don't know. I will get in touch with our tour guide. This is weird, talking about something that's going to happen in 6 weeks' time, but knowing that this podcast comes out 3 months after that. But yeah, I remember we had, it was like 2009 or 2013, we did the Superstar Character Breakfast in there, and it was kind of, It's a weird space, I think, to do. I think it works for like the VIP stuff and the RIP. But I think as far as a restaurant goes, it's kind of an odd space.
But they have good food.
I mean, that's all that counts, I guess.
Really
So
good
yummy.
food.
That's allergen friendly, Lee. Don't
All right.
knock on it.
I'm not
For
knocking it. I'm
everyone.
just saying.
Thank goodness.
For everyone.
Yeah.
That's why I'm helping promote it on here so it stays open. Hey, I'm doing my bit.
If we get done here early, I'm gonna try to go over there. Supposedly they're open till 8 p.m.
Ooh.
I kind of want a burrito bowl now. You guys are making me hungry.
It's interesting. I think it's funny that a lot of the places that we've talked about so far have been in studios. No one's really mentioned anywhere in islands yet. And I think we've talked about it quite a lot over the last few years, that studios, for all you've got Hagrid's in there and Velocicoaster and Kong, other than that, islands hasn't had a lot of love in a long time, like just sort of foundational sort of updates, where studios it's had the big updates with the attractions, but as far as the sort of restaurants and stuff like that, nothing's really been touched in islands, honestly, since it opened. And I think it's testament to it that we're talking here, and everywhere that you guys are talking about is Today Cafe or Bumblebee Mantaco or Le Cafe La Bamba. No one's mentioned anywhere other than the 3 broomsticks in Islands of Adventure.
So I know that I was actually about to move over to islands for some places that aren't necessarily new restaurants, but they've added new sections of their menu. So specifically the ramen at Comic Strip Cafe.
Yes.
I haven't had that yet, but they've got the new ramen bowls, and there's a steak bulgogi bowl that looks really good. And then also at Thunder Falls Terrace, I love their barbecue menu, like their pork pernil and their rotisserie chicken and things like that. It's good. It feels kind of heavy if you're thinking about like pulled pork and rotisserie chicken and stuff like that, but it's prepared in a more like Caribbean or Cuban way where it's lighter in general. So like thinking about getting like a roasted pork and rotisserie chicken combo meal in a theme park sounds a little weird, but it's actually really fresh, and they I've had really good experiences there. When I want a meal that I'm not going to go to Confisco or Mythos for.
I think overall, I can't even think, if we eat, it's generally not in islands. I can't even think, other than Mythos, there's nowhere I can think that I was like a go-to place in Islands of Adventure to think, oh, I can't wait to go and eat there again. Really at all.
So from a gluten-free perspective, Thunder Falls Terrace is awesome. So wait, I'm going to go back because we skipped over something that was like the biggest thing I wanted to say.
Okay.
Today Cafe, their Bulls and the Bears. I've gotten different sandwiches. For whatever reason, Bulls and the Bears sandwich. Now, I'm not like the biggest meat eater. I'm very picky about, I'm a very like farm to table. So I love it to taste fresh. I say I like interesting things that I don't make at home, but I like it to be just natural ingredients. And I don't know what made me order Bulls and the Bears, because I think if my mom and dad saw it, they'd be like, she'd never order that. It's the most weird un-Kayla thing to get. And it's another new favorite, and why I'm bringing it up. And then maybe they can do this if you want a different sandwich, if you don't eat meat. The Bulls and the Bears, gluten-free, comes on almost like a baguette. And if you've ever seen gluten-free bread for non-gluten-free people, if you're gluten-free, you know what I'm going to say. Typically, the bread now, it used to taste really bad years ago. They've come a long way. But for whatever reason, it's so tiny. Gluten-free bread is so small. And so and then it really sucks. Typically you're paying an upcharge for the gluten-free bread, and you're getting this measly, fits in the palm of your hand. It's the smallest little thing. And you're like, oh, this is really sad. And typically it falls apart. The Bulls and the Bears comes on this bun. I think first time I got it, I went up and asked, are you sure this is gluten-free? And they're like, yeah, it is. It's so good. It's the best bread. It is the best bread I've ever had. Gluten-free. So
that's interesting.
Need you know that. Please go get that for lunch. Phenomenal. I'm trying to think if there's anything else I wanted to say for like lunch.
Kayla, I just have to say that I second you. Oftentimes, the gluten-free bun is the only dairy-free option as well. And so I have had many a hamburger absolutely disintegrate in my hands on a gluten-free bun. And that has definitely tainted my experiences. We'll talk about that at other places. I have more positive things too, but definitely some negative things as far as my experiences with gluten-free bread goes.
Kelly, was it you we had on when we went through some of the menu items and like the way to make it gluten-free was like
wrap it in lettuce.
Yeah. I love,
Yep.
It's like really, like that's not even an option, is it?
And
honestly,
I think I said it at that point. If it gets to that, I'm going to eat it. I'm going to cut it up and eat it with a fork and knife. I'm not going to, for the most part, I will never take the lettuce bun option.
I won't do that either. That's such a cop-out.
It's such
I'm not eating a lettuce bun.
No. I think I'd be the same. Even like if I'm going to have a burger, I want a burger. I'd rather just. I know I'm not, so I can't really say this, but I'm going to anyway. I'd rather just take the hit and eat the bun and deal with the consequences afterwards than eat it with the lettuce.
But then in Islands, for lunch, I've had Thunder Falls Terrace, and I'm looking on the menu right now because I've definitely gotten a bowl that was really good. And again, like it's unique stuff, especially I think for a theme park. And I think the most unique in Islands, maybe. I mean, now they have the newer stuff, Kelly, that you just brought up, but none of that is gluten-free. The Comic Strip Cafe or the Marvel Superhero Island and Toon Lagoon are not super gluten-friendly, and I don't think I've eaten anywhere. But I've had Thunderfall Terrace, and I had a really cool sandwich that I'm not finding, so I'm wondering if they got rid of it. And the Three Broomsticks has what's it called? Like the grilled chicken with potatoes. Mm-hmm. It's simple, but I really love it. I don't know what they do. I think, which isn't good for you both, I think they use a lot of butter. If I'm honest, I think I Googled a copycat recipe, and I was like, I don't want to look at this anymore because I didn't want to know how much butter I was consuming. But that's it's really nice. I enjoy the Three Broomsticks for lunch sometimes.
Yeah. I
think again for splitting, and I don't know if I can say this. Sometimes I order the kids menu, and then that's like a smaller amount again because it's hot and you're riding rides. I think most of these dishes are a little bit larger, like what Kelly said, some of them that are a little bit heavier for that kind of day. It's nice to split or see if you can get the kids.
I've never understood why it's not all right for an adult towards a kid's portion. If you're not that hungry, what's the big deal? I don't get it.
I agree. Kayla, have you not had the rice bowl at Thunder Falls?
I think I have.
The new one, the meatless chorizo, is gluten sensitive.
Ooh. Oh, no, I have not. I'll get that next time.
I've had it one time and they messed up the chorizo, but I'm going to go back because I give everybody 100 chances.
And then I've heard their wings, prehistoric raptor wing. That's such a cute name. I've heard they're really good, and they're labeled as, I think almost everything on this menu is labeled gluten-free or gluten sensitive.
I think so. They're making an effort for all of this, I think.
Raptors don't even have wings.
That we know of.
Well, the ones in Jurassic Park don't. They certainly don't fly. Can you imagine how scary that'd be? Flying raptors.
People made up dinosaur sounds without hearing them, so.
But there was a bit of research went into that, though, wasn't there?
I didn't come up with that. I can't take credit. I saw it on a meme. But I was like, that's so true.
Shelby, you blew my mind.
They just made up these sounds. We have no idea what these animals sounded like. Not a clue. I will take credit for it, though. It's not mine. I stole it.
and then in Islands, green eggs and ham.
Yeah.
It's
Kayla, I'm sorry. Yeah, let's talk about that for a second. Did you say if you take off the sausage, the vegan ones are gluten-free? Because the people in my group who are gluten-free have told me that it was the pepperoni.
Then I might have flipped it.
Okay, all right. I
So-
just wanted to make sure. Because I was like, oh no, like, am I telling people the wrong information? I don't want to misinform anyone.
Yeah,
But
I knew. So then maybe,
allergies.
Lee, if you want to edit that, just so I don't like spread correct information and get someone sick.
We've got a
then I
few
flipped
months,
it.
Shelby.
hopefully
let me
they
know for
listen
definite.
this far.
Yeah. It's the stop the podcast when Kayla said that and rush off to get the vegan tots without the sausage and the gluten-free and then all die.
But hopefully they listened to me first and made sure that they ask before they.
I was
I
going to
did say that first.
I totally agree with both of you because obviously vegan is not an allergy, right? Like if we're being realistic, that's why I was anyway, minion tots.
I need to find out what the deal with these minion tots is after we finish though.
I'll tell you guys after the show. And hopefully by the time this comes out, I will have it resolved. But anyway, vegan is not an allergy issue. So I appreciate when you guys are saying like anybody with an allergy, and I hope anyone with an allergy is following this anyway, that you guys really should double check. I don't have allergies. Like I am dairy sensitive, but if I were to accidentally eat some, it's not going to affect me in a way that it would someone with a very serious allergy. So people should be double checking these things. So if you go to Green Eggs and Ham and you listen to this episode and didn't get this far, I hope you asked before you order them.
Yeah, but again, sort of talking about, like, even from my perspective, who has no issues, Ireland's is just, there's nothing, they really need to look at the food in Ireland overall, I think, because, as I say, I can't think of anywhere that right now, if we went, let's go and eat in Islands of Adventure and taking Mythos out of the equation, where I'm going.
I was just going to say, I love Mythos.
Yeah.
And Mythos has gluten-free pad thai that is like, I think that's like one of their like signature dishes.
Yes.
So it's cool that it's gluten-free. I weirdly love, it's like very simple. I don't know. They do something special because I love it, but I usually get their like grilled chicken on a gluten-free bun. And again, like the bun is really good. It sounds really simple and plain, but I swear there's like magic in the Mythos chicken burger. And then it is just stunning. It is such a cool place to eat.
It really is.
Yeah, it's also the ambiance of it, right?
Yeah, without a doubt.
Makes the food better.
Yeah, it is. Tracy and I going back there, will have gone back there, did go back there in September, whichever, I'll edit whichever one I feel like putting in. She's apparently the fork, knife and spoon grilled cheese is the greatest thing that she's ever had in her entire life. And I'm getting it when we have gone, went in September.
Yeah, I love Mythos, Lee. I know you're a little hit and miss on Confisco, but I have had really good experiences there as well. Again, with their menu being a little bit more on the fresh side. I realized when I was looking stuff up for this podcast that a lot of the same menu items from Confisco can also be found at Mythos.
Okay.
Like the pad thai and things like that. But
Yep.
I love the ahi tuna nachos from Confisco are really good. They're really fresh, kind of lighter lunch, especially if you're going for something earlier in the day like I usually do. And I think they both have good ambiance. Obviously, Mythos is just a really special place to be eating in. So, but both Mythos and Confisco have multiple options that would be safe for me. And again, with it being a sit-down restaurant, I trust them more than I would trust a quick service place to handle my order carefully. I had a not so great experience at Doc Segru's, which I wanted it to be a good. I really wanted it to be a good experience because I was like, the line is always short, pretty short at least, and it looks like it wouldn't be a ton of food. It's not super heavy. It was just one of very, very, very few experiences that I've had with a team member that wasn't overly positive. And absolutely everyone is allowed to have bad days. Everybody's allowed to have a grumpy day, whatever. Those, like, life happens. And for the most part, I've had very positive experiences with team members overall. But Doc Segru's is something that I kind of want to give another chance just for that, for the sake of trying again. But I felt like my food wasn't great because I had to get it like without some of the sauces or things like that, and that it was not very much food for how much money that it was, because it was like $15 and it was a pita with a couple little pieces of chicken in it. And Yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought with where I was going with that. But when I'm not local, so I don't get to come. I get to come maybe once or twice a year, if that. And so if with having food allergies, I know I'm not alone in this community, that I'm very loyal to the places that I have good experiences with. And I'm very loyal to places of food that I know is safe, that has been good for me, and I've enjoyed it. So I will typically go back to those places before I would give a second chance to somewhere that I had a negative experience with.
Confisco. This is probably weird. I got engaged at Universal, and I think I read before the trip that Confisco had gluten-free wings, and I love chicken wings. And so that's where we went for a celebratory meal, which Confisco's is really cute and cool, but there were much better options for a romantic special occasion. Whatever. We went when it first opened. It was just us in the restaurant. And I think I'm remembering this correctly. And also it wasn't very crowded. When I ordered the wings gluten-free, I think they had a dedicated fryer, or I could get them baked. And I prefer things baked than fried. And so that was like really special. And that was cool. And then that kind of gets to what I said in the beginning, like a sit-down restaurant, you'll probably get better service and have a little bit more control, depending on like how severe your allergy is, or just how picky you are. I really loved those grilled wings. They made a memory.
Right, we're getting towards the end of this. Do we want to touch on Volcano Bay briefly? Those of us who have eaten there. I can't remember who it was that said they've eaten there. Now, Kelly, I think you were definitely one of them.
Yes. I had a vegan chicken sandwich there that was not good many, many years ago. It was very plain and had like no seasoning on it, but it was one of those like, we did not eat early. It was like after lunchtime. I was hot. I was hangry. I just wanted the quickest thing. The line was really long. The line was long enough that I had a lot of anxiety about like going back and forth with the chef or things like that, with it being a quick service. And so I just ordered the vegan chicken sandwich and said it was a dairy allergy just to make it easier and faster, and was not great. But that night we were there long enough during the day that we got an early dinner there too. I had the poke bowl from, I think it was the Feasting Frog, I think is what that place is called. I'm not nearly as familiar with Volcano Bay as other places, but the poke bowl was really good. And I like that at Volcano Bay, you can order a combo and it comes with an icy, and it ends up saving you like $2 or $3 depending on what your meal is, because an icy is like $5 there, and if it's really hot outside, it's nice to get an icy as your drink. So
Volcano Bay is a funny one, isn't it? Because when it first opened, the food was one of the big things that they really promoted as far as that park, and then within a month or two, a lot of those items just disappeared, which I find really strange. Shelby, if I remember right, you haven't been, have you?
I'm trying to find what I had. I had a bowl. I have a video of me eating the bowl.
Cool.
And I don't remember where.
That won't work well on a podcast, Kayla, to be fair.
I don't remember where I got it. It was delicious, and it was definitely something unique and had that like Caribbean vibe, similar to like Thunderfall Terrace. And the rainbowy ice cream is
I'm so jealous.
one of the best. Yeah. If they make a vegan version, I mean, it's one of the best things I've ever eaten. I love that ice cream. It's phenomenal.
Oh, my icy seems a little silly now, but
I've never had where like, and I mean, I'm not going to like lie and say like I could tell you exactly, but like the different colors did taste different. And I felt like for most of them, I could figure out like what the fruit was. It was like that on point with the taste.
Nice.
So I recommend getting the rainbow ice cream in a bowl.
That's the one thing I wanted to try when we went for our little 2-hour tour around it, was that, but I wasn't hungry and then I couldn't be bothered to go and get it, so I never bothered. Cool. Well, I think we've all over Universal for an hour. I think that's enough. So we will wrap it up. Thank you, you three. It's been interesting. Like I say, it's for something that doesn't affect me coming to the parks. It's interesting to see how you guys tackle it and how forgiving, I guess, you guys are, I suppose, that you accept where you're going and know that it's not going to be perfect, but you can see that there are options there for you, and you can see that it is becoming a better place for you to visit with your dietary needs.
They've definitely made a ton of improvements, even in the last just like couple of years.
Absolutely. I mean,
I agree.
Yeah. When I was in college and would go down, I went to college just like 2 hours north of Orlando. And so my friends and I would go down on the weekend all the time. And I would always pack like almost a full day's worth of food with me. And that was, not that long ago. And now yes, I do always have snacks with me just in case I get stuck between two places, or I'm with a group that no one's able to stop at that point, or things like that. But it's improved so much. And I don't know how this would quite work, Lee, but if anybody would need helping like plan their family's vacation, if they have kids with food allergies or if they have food allergies themselves, like I am more than happy to talk through the process of what it's like to order and who to talk to and things like that. Like, feel free to, if anyone reaches out to you, connect them to me cool. As far as
awesome.
Yep. And then there's the universal allergy email that they're very quick. The only thing Shelby mentioned, I actually emailed about the Minion Cafe, or was it Bake My Day? And I was told that it's a third party, we don't know. And like, that was it. Or it was like, ask on premise.
Weird.
And in my brain, I'm like, this is brand new. This might be a giant line. I'm not waiting in a long line to find out I can't have anything. I'm not asking on premise. So I was a little bothered by that. And I do hope they get, since they do have a lot of third party vendors, that even if they don't have all the information that like I could have been given information to contact them, or they could contact them for me and get back. Like, I don't think it's that difficult.
Yep. And of
That's
course,
negative. The universal allergy email is typically pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. Agreed.
And of course, I would be remiss not plugging Shelby. Go and follow her on Universal Orlando Vegans on Instagram, because it is a great resource. I find myself looking at stuff and going, ooh, that looks quite good.
Thank you, Lee.
You're welcome. We just need to get them to rename the shepherd's pie pasty, not the shepherd's pasty pie.
We had that scare when we thought it was gone for a minute, so at least it's not gone.
They've gone, so they can change the name of it to what it should be called.
All they need to do is update the app.
Yes, they do, because it's wrong. It should not be a shepherd's pasty. What if it's a shepherd's pie pasty is what it should be.
Shepherd's, yeah.
It's a shepherd's pie in a pasty, so it should be a shepherd's pie pasty, not a shepherd's pasty pie, because it's not a pie, it's a anyway.
Lee's on his soapbox now, by the way.
No. All four of us have been on his soapbox at this point.
That is, of course, going to wrap up the podcast, and we will end, as we always do with the Universal Is, and I've invited all three of my guests to be part of this, but for this episode, in this order, please, Kayla, Kelly, and Shelby, it is over to you.
Universal is where friends meet.
Universal is finally allergy friendly.
Mine's going to be 4 words. Sorry, Lee. Universal is Halloween Horror Nights Heaven.
Okay, I'll take that. All right, we'll see you back here next week, where we're going to talk about the hotels and City Walk.
That was another episode of the unofficial Universal Orlando podcast, the best and only podcast about Universal Orlando on the island. Check us out on social media on Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, YouTube, and Pinterest. Just search UUO Podcast. For all the podcasts, news, and articles, check out our blog at uuopodcast.com. Contact us at podcast@uuopodcast.com. Join the Producers Club by emailing us at uuopproducers@gmail.com. Listen and subscribe to the podcast on Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Podcasts, Stitcher, and everywhere else podcasts are found. Check out our friends, the Theme Park Duo, for all your other theme park news, and email Michelle at portkeyvacations.net to book your next trip. So until next time, this is Amity 6, Call Off the Marines, we're coming home.